Howdy, and welcome to Tuesday's edition of Today's Bread. Well, this week's topic is a generation that forgot God, and today's portion highlights a faithless generation. Our scripture reference is Judges chapter 2, verses 6 through 10. Now, have you ever wondered how a people who witnessed God's miracles firsthand could raise a generation that didn't even know Him? Well, it didn't happen overnight. But it did happen. Judges chapter 2, verses 6 through 10 takes us back to the closing days of Joshua's life. While Joshua and the elders were still alive, Israel walked in obedience to the Lord. Each tribe possessed their land, and the people followed God faithfully. Why? Well, because these leaders had seen what God had done. They remembered the victories. They remembered His power, and they inspired the nation to live uprightly before Him. But then Joshua died. Judges reminds us of his death and burial, and with it, something far more troubling began to unfold. When Joshua's generation passed away, a spiritual decline followed. Scripture says the next generation did not know the Lord, nor the works He had done for Israel. That doesn't mean they hadn't heard the stories. They knew their parents followed the Lord. But knowing about God isn't the same as knowing God. This new generation didn't walk with Him. They didn't honor Him. And tragically, they weren't taught by word or by example what it meant to trust and obey the one true God. Now, as a result, they turned away from serving the Lord and followed the path of sin. There's a powerful warning here for us. We cannot assume the next generation will automatically follow the Lord just because we do. Our faith must be lived out, not just talked about. Our words, our habits, our character, and our integrity should clearly show that we love God with all of our hearts. We must tell the next generation what the Lord has done. We must pray for them, teach them, and model a life of faith, so they don't just know the stories, but they know the God behind them. Now, as Psalm 78 reminds us, our calling is to pass on a living faith, so the next generation will put their trust in God and keep His commandments. So thank you for joining us. Now, I want to encourage you to come be a part of God's family. Well, Tuesday's prayer focus for America is for families to be guided in raising children with insight, moral grounding, and love for truth. Now remember, Jesus is coming back soon. Here's Tuesday's blessing. I bless you with confidence to see the goodness of the Lord in your life. Now may you dwell in God's holy presence. Now may today's bread strengthen your walk with Jesus, who is the bread of life.